Hello there. So it appears that Labour Party leadership hopeful Keir Starmer has found where the Labour Party leadership electoral fence is and has decided to sit on it. Firstly, as ever, please kick that YouTube algorithm up the jacksie by giving this video a big fat like. And please check back regularly as I do generally upload new videos every single day. Now, two very recent events should tell you that sitting on a political fence just leaves you high and dry of support, with plenty of splinters in embarrassing parts of your anatomy. The first was Theresa May trying to cater for both Brexit wings of the Tory party and ending up out in the cold. The other was when Jeremy Corbyn tried to sit on the Brexit fence for a general election, and look what happened there. So, sitting on a political fence can be very painful and have very unfortunate outcomes for the fence sitter, especially as political fences tend to have broken glass and spikes along the top, and people on both sides hanging onto your feet trying to drag you off of it. So all that happens is you end up looking uncomfortable, isolated and exposed, and then torn to shreds. But this prospect doesn't appear to be worrying Keir Starmer very much, at the moment. And the fence he's decided to straddle is not the Brexit fence, but the divide between the moderate left and the far left in his own party. Speaking to the BBC political editor, Laura Kuenssberg, he refused to say whether he was closer in political terms to Tony Blair or to Jeremy Corbyn. I want to lead a Labour Party that is trusted enough to bring about fundamental change, he said. I don't need somebody else's name or badge in order to do that, and what we forget in all this is that all the leaders in the Labour Party, all the teams of leaders, they have to do it for the circumstances as they are. So our job is to put forward that radical and relevant programme for the next decade and the decade after. But the problem for Starmer is that the fence he is sitting on has more people on the far left side of it than on the moderate side, as illustrated by the Camden branch of the hard left faction Momentum calling on Labour members to reject the former Attorney General, saying, "If you are a member or supporter of the Labour Party who has been inspired or enthused by Jeremy Corbyn's leadership, if you want our movement to continue travelling in the direction of socialism, internationalism and solidarity, we urge you not to vote for Keir Starmer." In its statement, Momentum also said, "It has been clear to us for years that Starmer has been positioning himself to become leader of the Labour Party. Now that he has launched his campaign, it's equally clear he's making an opportunistic tilt to the left because he correctly perceives that the majority of the membership wants to continue what Jeremy Corbyn started." Starmer has hired some of Corbyn's former advisers at his campaign launch. He said that he doesn't want to trash Corbyn's legacy as we move forward, but based on our experience, we do not trust him to follow through on those gestures and warm words. And further, the Momentum Group has released a video backing Rebecca Long-Bailey for the leadership position and said it would mobilise thousands in support of her after 70% of its members voted for her. The group also backed Angela Rayner for deputy leader after 52% voted for her. But get this. According to The Guardian, those were based on a 7,000 turnout of Momentum's 40,000 membership. But further, despite being an organisation committed to giving Labour members more say in party decisions, Momentum members were not given the chance of voting for any of the 5 leadership candidates or any of the 5 deputy leadership candidates. Instead, after Momentum's national coordinating group decided to recommend Long-Bailey and Rayner, members were just asked whether the organisation should adopt both of those 2 recommendations. Democracy, Momentum style. But I suppose its members all knew what they were signing up for. And in its statement, Momentum said, "Our membership has spoken and overwhelmingly backed Rebecca Long-Bailey to be the next leader of the Labour Party and the next Prime Minister of the UK. We will now be mobilising thousands to persuade Labour members in the coming months." The next Prime Minister? Now isn't that just utterly delusional? A momentum-powered Long Bailey Labour Party is destined for perpetual pressure group status, not government, and a party that would in all likelihood split. And a Starmer-led Labour Party would be destined for a very lengthy struggle for its own soul and identity. And Labour's been there before, of course. All you have to do is change the name from Momentum to Tribune, and we're back in the late 1970s to early 1980s, in the days of Neil Kinnock. And 1979 to 1997 was a long, dark period for Labour. But this time there may be no light at the end of the tunnel for the party in its current configuration. Unless Boris Johnson and the Tories completely mess it up, of course. And any failed Labour leader won't have an EU job lined up for them either. But as far as I can see, it is unlikely that the Tories will muck it up enough to unseat the Labour Party, and further, whoever gets elected as the new Labour Party leader will end up broken on the momentum wheel and ejected from their position well before the next general election. At the end of the day, this Labour leadership contest is like playing musical chairs on the deck of the Titanic. And it is not the new leader that will have to make any choices. That will be up to Momentum. Momentum has to decide whether to allow the party to regain the centre ground with a chance of getting into government within the next decade, or to stick to its Marxist guns and remain unelectable for good. And if Jeremy Corbyn is a clear example of how the argument of the hard left manifests at Prime Minister's questions, then it is clear that if elected, Rebecca Long Bailey would be served her own entrails back at her every week at PMQs. Now what they should be doing is looking at the lesson that the Boris Johnson leadership gives. Don't be too keen, bide your time, build your support, then know exactly what stance to take and when to strike. It's called the killer instinct. Or at least hire an assassin who can do that for you, while you muss your hair and beam smiles in a friendly manner. But for Labour, they do have a chance of ticking one of their long-standing diversity boxes. They have a chance to prove that the worm has finally turned for them. They could opt for Rebecca Long Bailey, so allowing her to join the ranks of Theresa May, Nicola Sturgeon, Leanne Wood and Diane James as an elected female leader of a UK political party. Now I would include the Green Party for its leaders here, but I would never want to offend by naming names and assuming genders, would I? So Labour have in reality got two donkeys to choose from. But I wonder which one will get the booby prize of becoming the next Labour Party leader. Anyway, if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell, or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it. But more importantly, what do you think? Please share and comment, and thank you for watching. Please do like and share this video, and also subscribe to my channel. And when subscribing, please do remember to press on the little bell next to the subscribe button. That way you'll get an alert every single time I put up a new video. And thank you very much for watching.